Warning, the following presentation is not intended for all audiences. It may induce cold sweats, increased heart rate, and terrifying nightmares. If you're easily frightened, turn away now. Well, we warned you. Halloween is the season to get your scare on. And we're headed on a spine-tingling tour of terror.
Come on at your own risk, because we gonna get you.
From a former asylum that'll drive you mad with fear, to a Hollywood-caliber haunt mecca.
We even have a defibrillator, just in case.
We've got insanely elaborate jack-o'-lanterns, wacky pumpkin races, and the outrageous traditions that make Halloween such scary fun. Hold on tight and get ready to scream your head off. Because Netherworld in Atlanta, Georgia is the most horrifying haunted house in the nation, boasting the biggest and baddest animatronics, insanely elaborate sets, and the A-list of haunt actors. Netherworld raises the bar for Halloween terror.
The blood rush, it was anarchy in there. It was crazy. It was the most scariest thing I have ever experienced in my entire life. Oh my God, like it is an adrenaline rush. I was terrified, okay, I was terrified.
We wanted to create an event that was different than the other haunted houses. They were doing Freddy and Jason movie themes. We wanted something mythic, something different, something original.
I've been to neighborhood haunted houses, but nothing like this. They take it to a whole new level.
Every year at Netherworld, over 50,000 people come to this attraction. We're ready for anything. We have officers, we have paramedics, we even have a defibrillator, just in case.
The Netherworld team spent millions bringing their unique nightmarish vision to life, turning 2 warehouse floors into a 40-minute bombardment of fear.
Our upstairs show is always very gothic, very ornate, very traditional haunted house. But our downstairs show, it's the gritty, the realistic. It's a sewer filled with cannibals, with alligators, with all kinds of nasty filth. At Netherworld, we just don't stop. Every year we spend more time, more money, more effort to create the best haunted house we possibly can.
With more than 100 Hollywood-caliber sets, 125 live actors, and 300-plus animatronic monsters, Netherworld has more scares per square foot than any other haunt on Earth. And that's just the inside.
When guests come to Netherworld, first of all, the lot actors will hit them the minute they come out of their cars.
Save yourself. They chased me, and I got really scared. I can't breathe. Oh my God.
Survive the parking lot, and the assault kicks into overdrive. Every room is an interactive fear fest, filled with moving walls, shifting floors, and spinning tunnels.
This is a vortex tunnel. The thing that's special about it, it's 2 end-to-end. It's 40 feet long.
I just like fell. Like I face planted and I started sliding.
The vortex tunnel is totally disorienting, but Netherworld's one-of-a-kind heart room is guaranteed to quicken your pulse.
These fleshy walls look like they're just part of the set.
Oh my God, that is
The bags inflate and it grabs you. The level of detail in Haunted House is critical, both for the entertainment value, the production value, but the real trick is it's there for distraction. When you're looking at all the crazy stuff, that's when you're a prime target for the actors to get you.
There's no way in life I could ever tell they were actors. I thought they were like real monsters, like.
Netherworld has dug up the most bone-chilling looks in the haunt biz. But it's the performances that really scare you senseless.
The actors in Netherworld are excellent. All year long, we meet, we train, we learn new ways to scare people. I get calls from movies all the time that need extras. They call for The Walking Dead. They call for Zombieland. When they need monsters, they call us.
You couldn't tell really what was real and wasn't real until they actually jumped out and moved.
But playing undead is just one weapon in their arsenal of shock tactics. For the ultimate drop-dead fright, the ceiling is rigged with dozens of high-flying scare zones.
We have a number of different kinds of stunts. We have the wires, where people fly in an arc. We have bungees where they jump. We have pneumatically assisted stunts where things propel people up in the air or out or up.
The actors that swooped down above us, I did not see it coming. I was like, ah! I was like, started crying.
Anything suspended from the ceiling that jumped over me, I just knew they were going to land on me.
They swing down and grab you, so you really didn't know where you'd be surprised from.
This was the best night of my life. Plus, it was the scariest night. And I gotta say, I did well.
Next, we're headed to Pennhurst Asylum in Spring City, Pennsylvania, where you can check in, but you may not be checking out. Once an actual mental hospital, this Halloween haunt has the ultimate prescription for fear. Set in a legendary paranormal hotspot, scares just don't get more real than this.
Scary. Horrifying.
Oh my God.
It was awesome, but terrifying.
This is the scariest haunted house that I've ever been to.
My adrenaline is pumping. You're non-stop screaming in there. Everything just comes at you at once. It exhausted me.
Built in 1908 to house the mentally and physically disabled, Pennhurst Hospital endured a long and troubled life.
The Pennhurst State Mental Hospital was a very real hospital. In fact, it was closed in 1987 after reports of a series of abuse to its residents. The fear is real at Pennhurst. This is a haunted place. We've had 4 employees quit due to paranormal experiences.
You can hear voices while you're in the buildings. It's legitimately haunted, and it's the only one I know of like that.
And come Halloween, the naturally terrifying surroundings are amped up with thousands of gory props.
The Pennhurst Asylum covers over 50,000 square feet, and we have invested upwards to $1 million in creating the scariest attraction on Earth. On any given night, we can have up to 5,000 to 6,000 people come through our attraction.
The spooky mood is set with a self-guided flashlight tour of the hospital dormitory, preserved in its original dilapidated glory.
These walls speak, and with the history, there's not much we really need to do with set design.
I'm nervous just being in here. A lot of things happen in this room in here. People get touched.
Your stomach instantly sinks. You know that it's creepy up there. You know bad things have happened, things that actually occurred at this asylum so many years ago.
Yeah, it just feels horrible.
I came here as a skeptic, and I left as a believer. I'll tell you that right now. There's something very strange going on in that building.
And once you've been sufficiently unsettled, they unleash the shocks. More than 500 pieces of medical equipment were salvaged to create the ultimate hospital-themed horror show.
This is the morgue, and in keeping with the theme, we've harvested all of these props from the original hospital, including these morgue drawers. It's been closed for over 20 years. It still reeked of embalming fluid.
It felt real. It was just horrifying.
Oh, my God!
125 actors keep you on your toes every single second.
My strategy to scare people is to stalk them. Instead of simply popping out, I will follow them. I'll do whatever it takes to really make them feel uncomfortable rather than just get a quick jump out of them.
The actors here, they were completely relentless. They'd be right in your face. They would play with your hair.
breathe in your ear, just freak me out.
I literally could not stand up at one point with the snake. I knew it was coming, but I didn't, I just shock, horror.
Every inch of Pennhurst is exploited to terrifying effect, including a 900-foot maze of tunnels with scares lurking behind every corner.
The tunnel system was used to transport patients, and there were reported atrocities that took place.
The tunnel really got me because it was just one long line of just this claustrophobic, narrow area, and that every time someone popped out, I was gone. It's the kind of thing that's going to keep me up at night. Like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to need to have my lights on while I sleep. Horrified.
Coming up, we're charting terrifying new waters on the first ever haunted cruise.
So far, no one's had the guts to try to jump overboard, but I'm still waiting for that to happen.
Plus, Halloween's biggest and most elaborate jack-o'-lantern display.
The jack-o'-lanterns at my house, they look nowhere near as full as these ones.
The world's biggest Halloween party is A, the West Village Halloween Parade. B, Salem Witch's Halloween Ball. C, Halloween at Dracula's Castle. New York's West Village Halloween Parade is the biggest Halloween party on Earth, boasting more than 50,000 costume revelers and 2 million plus spectators. It's been an anything goes event since 1974. Every Halloween season, more than 4,000 haunted attractions unleash their scares on the nation, but only one takes terror from terra firma to the open ocean. Welcome aboard Ghost Ship. Embarking from Newport Harbor in Orange County, California, this is the most blood-curdling booze cruise on the planet.
Being on the ship at sea, in the bay, made it like 10,000 times scarier. Awesome.
I was scared. It was pretty freaky.
Eat my friend.
I'm claustrophobic, so when I came out of that, I just panicked. It kind of freaked me out.
It's the very first time a haunt like this actually has even existed in the country. A floating haunt that actually sets sail into the ocean.
It's different than being on land. Yes. You can run it and land. Here, you can't, you're stuck.
So far, no one's had the guts to try to jump overboard, but I'm still waiting for that to happen.
Every October since 2011, this 148-foot yacht transforms into Ghost Ship, a 75-minute nautical nightmare, frightening 200-plus passengers on each voyage. From stern to bow, the ship's 3 decks will scare you senseless with dozens of elaborate sets, hundreds of freaky props, and more than 25 gruesomely made-up actors.
The backstory of Ghost Ship is that at one time it was meant to have served as a floating asylum, and unfortunately, one night, something went wrong and the patients took over the ship.
The terror starts above deck with a gut-wrenching stage show and undead lounge act.
There is no place on this ship that is haunt-free or scare-free. You can't even go into the bathrooms on Ghost Ship without experiencing a character who's standing outside your stall door, dropping chains and rattling them against your stall.
At one point, I was stationed in the restrooms. I made a girl pee her pants. I'm a little proud of that, actually.
But the evil heart and soul of Ghost Ship lurks deep in the bowels of the vessel, inside a maze of hallways packed with insane inmates and demented doctors.
Welcome to my torture chambers. Look at my face!
We've had one woman leave the maze weeping and crying.
The maze was definitely our favorite part. It was so scary. I literally cried at the end.
Scariest part by far. Yeah, I think I peed myself a little bit. The girl jumping out of the bathtub was, oh my gosh. I've never experienced any haunted houses like that ever. Ever.
Monstrous inmates, animatronic rats. Every corner hides shocks where you least expect.
When the guy came down from the ceiling, I was all out.
I was on the floor.
There is nowhere on this ship that is safe, so come on at your own risk, because we gonna get you.
Halloween means jack-o'-lanterns, and the biggest display on Earth is the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular at Roger Williams Zoo in Providence, Rhode Island. Featuring more than 5,000 pumpkins, they've carved out a Halloween light show unlike any other.
When you see the carvings, it's hard to believe that anybody could have physically done that. Breathtaking, really.
The jack-o'-lanterns at my house, they look nowhere near as cool as these ones.
I've never actually seen anything like this. It's very different.
We love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, and this is one of the biggest events we love.
Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular is almost impossible to describe, but it is a quarter of a mile of pumpkin magic. Pumpkins of all sizes, all shapes, some hundreds and hundreds of pounds, pieces of artwork that come alive at night and just make magic for us. We can get crowds of upwards to 8,000. Last year alone, we saw 107,000 through the course of the 25 nights.
Founded in 1988 by expert carver John Reckner, these museum-quality carvings are more than mere cutouts. Ink drawing and scraping lend extraordinary detail. The finished pieces are then hollowed out and lit with electric lights to control the way each gourd glows.
I have roughly 12 full-time artists. They take a month and a half off from their regular jobs. 7 days a week from 9 in the morning to midnight, we are drawing and carving pumpkins.
The whole world stops come September, and it's time to draw and carve pumpkins. Everything goes to the back burner, and it just becomes a complete obsession with pumpkins.
The biggest pumpkins can take 15+ hours to carve, and every single jack-o'-lantern is replaced each week.
We anticipate doing each one 4 times, and when you factor in that you're looking at something like this 4 or 5 hours, you can figure out the math. It's a lot of work.
We'll go through more than 10,000 pumpkins during the course of the event here, and all of those pumpkins are actually trucked in from the Midwest to Providence, Rhode Island, just for the event.
That's more than 250,000 pounds of pumpkins. And when they're all lit up, the effect is out of this world. From a 100-foot tree strung with jack-o'-lanterns and surrounded by hundreds of carvings.
It's like an explosion of jack-o'-lanterns. It's fantastic. I love it.
To an eye-popping journey around the world display.
The countries are phenomenal. Each country's representation is just unbelievable.
My favorite countries were Italy and Australia, and the Leaning Tower of Pisa was really neat, and then all the animals was really cool for Australia.
But what really makes these jack-o'-lanterns so spectacular? The awe it inspires means you'll never look at a porch display the same way again.
What I love most about Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular is the reaction we see from the guests. They absolutely love it. Families come through here. It's just a magic time that gets everybody in the mood for Halloween.
Up next, from killer carvings to wild races, we're going pumpkin crazy. And later, you're gonna get grabbed at this shocking haunt that leaves grown men begging for mercy.
You've had guys come out of there with tears running down their face. Get it away from me! This is good.
Which state produces the most pumpkins? A, California. B, Idaho. C, Illinois. Illinois is the pumpkin capital of the U.S., growing an estimated 500 million pounds every year. That's nearly half the national total. In Manhattan Beach, California, Halloween means one thing: the world-famous pumpkin race. every October, families pull their pumpkins off the porch for an epic drag race battle royale. If your gourd goes the fastest, you earn a massive trophy and eternal pumpkin racing glory.
I came from Wisconsin. I mean, I traveled 2,000 miles to come here. It's amazing. I mean, the amount of creativity that people get, and they get so into it.
I love this event because it kind of brings the community together, and we come down here, we see all our friends, we race, and we just make a whole afternoon event out of it.
This is becoming a tradition for us every year. We love it.
We crash every year.
My Halloween, my year wouldn't be complete without going to the world-famous pumpkin race. Pumpkin races began in my garage, where I took a couple of skateboards and cut them apart and attached 4 wheels to a pumpkin, lit it on fire, and sent it down the hill, and I said, all right, this is pretty cool. We started off with 20. Today we'll have over 15,000 people. It's just one of these things that has a life of its own, and I love it.
A massive crowd has gathered to watch more than 1,000 speed demons go head-to-head, racing their souped-up squashes down the 45-foot track.
We put 5 or 6 pumpkins on the line at the same time. The one that finishes first advances to the next round. You can show up not knowing anything about it, go get a kit, and within 15 minutes, you can have a pumpkin race car ready to go and ready to decorate. A pumpkin race car, at its basic element, is just a pumpkin, 2 independent axles, and 4 wheels. But when you add innovation and creativity, it becomes something much, much more.
My pumpkin is mostly just a red thingamabob. Fairy princess doing my thing.
So one of the most frequently asked questions is, what do I do to win? Well, there's a secret formula. It's called get your axles on straight and pray. If we get a lot of crooked ones, it goes bad.
This Halloween crash test derby is packed with pumpkin pile-ups. But some racers are more crooked than others. To get an edge, competitors resort to dirty tricks.
We actually go out of our way to inspect the pumpkins to make sure they're not cheating.
1 on a set of, does that qualify, Mike?
We have a special instrument that we use when we find a cheater. It's called the mallet of justice. It's an old-style mallet that's heavy enough to destroy pretty much any pumpkin. People actually show up with cheater pumpkins that they've created especially to be destroyed for everybody to see.
We have another watermelon.
It's a honeydew.
It's a honeydew melon.
Cheater pumpkins never prosper, but after dozens of races, it's down to the final 5.
First place goes to Sam.
I feel like we just won the Summer Olympics in Beijing. We've been training for months and months and months. Put it all together, swept the thing.
It's a lot more fun than just carving pumpkins and sitting them on your porch.
Deep in the woods of Darlington, Maryland, ravenous zombies are on a feeding frenzy. The only escape, run. Run for Your Lives is the ultimate Halloween-themed athletic event, a 5K obstacle course pitting you against the undead. One false move, and you can kiss your brains bye-bye.
It was intense. It was pretty similar to a zombie movie. It was just awesome. I can't think of anything I've ever done that's more fun than this. I love it. I'm having such a good time.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to get muddy. We're going to get bloody. It's going to be great.
Run for Your Lives is a 5K obstacle course race where runners will be wearing flag belts and chased by zombies. Flag belts represent the runner's health. They will have 3, and the zombie's job is to pull them. If all the runners' flags are taken, they still get to finish the course, but they will be listed on the final event posting as zombies.
This first-of-its-kind race was spawned in October 2011. And today, more than 10,000 runners are here to put their survival skills to the test on 12 grueling obstacles.
Get set! Go!
Scale the 15-foot incline wall. Best the foot-snaring cargo net. Tackle the terror tubes. And you've still got to brave a bone-chilling blood pit and make it past the zombie-infested haystacks.
One zombie scared the bejesus out of me. I screamed like a little girl.
Unfair! Unfair!
I love fake blood and popping out at stuff, but seeing that people actually paid to come and get scared is so awesome.
I'm a zombie. It's like I'm in a movie. I'm chasing people and they're terrified of me. It's so much fun.
A horde of more than 400 flag-snatching zombies turns this muddy run into Halloween blood sport.
It's early in the day and we've already gotten 15 flags.
The zombies, some of them really wanted it.
I got elbowed in the first quarter mile and covered in blood, but we made it through the race and I still have all 3 flags.
Some were actually laying on the ground and waiting for you to come by. They started double teaming me and that's when I lost them.
Dead to the right, flags to the left. And we're back.
With or without flags, the diehards who finish the event earn medals and Halloween bragging rights for years to come.
I didn't just run, I survived. 3 flags, what up?
Up next, this hayride from hell is shockingly hands-on.
At one point, they were grabbing my legs and they just took my shoe off.
But the most horrifying haunt takes in-your-face scares to the extreme.
I'm going to put you in a room, slam the door, fill it up 6'6", and bury you alive. How long can you hold your breath?
The traditional fall hayride just got a scare upgrade.
Oh my God! Something's on the...
Every Halloween, Arisafa Farm in Glen Mills, Pennsylvania transforms into Bates Motel and Haunted Hayride. Packed with freaky props, ghoulish actors, and insane pyrotechnics, this is the ultimate drive-through theater of terror.
Got off the hayride and it was crazy and I was so scared. My nerves were finally calming down, but it was amazing.
Being in the woods ups the scare factor because they could be coming out of the trees, out of just like the ground.
I've been to my fair share amount of haunted hayrides, but this one had me shivering and shaking the entire time.
Most of the year, this is an actual working farm. But when haunt season rolls around, it's time to sow the seeds of fear.
We opened the Haunted Hayride in 1991 as a way to supplement the income for the farm. And over the years, it's really grown into a very big business and has really actually saved this farm. On a busy night in October, it's not uncommon to see 6,000 or 7,000 people come through. We keep our lines moving because we run 12 tractors, which allows us to run 45 people every 90 seconds. You never see the wagon in front of you or the one behind you. It's like you are the only one in the woods.
Set on a sprawling 25-acre course, the hayride winds through 26 monstrous sets that dwarf anything you'd find at an indoor haunt, from an 85-foot castle to a 250-foot mine shaft.
Timing on our hayride is absolutely critical. So as the tractor pulls into the scene, it runs over a hose like this. Well, this activates all the props on this side of the set.
Once the scene is triggered, more than 65 sinister actors dial the shocks up to 11.
Yeehaw! Stay away from my moonshine!
It's almost like being in a movie theater. It's like a 4D experience.
Oh my God!
I see a lot of guests with crazy reactions. And probably one of the funniest ones was a whole group of people that buried themselves under the straw.
Sure, you can hide, but there's no escaping these hitchhikers from hell when they board your wagon.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Where did he come from?
The
just were so aggressive. They were just all over me, and at one point they were grabbing my legs and they just took my shoe off.
I wasn't expecting the chainsaws to be real until they all jumped up on the wagon. I smelled the gasoline, and it was just so real. It was like I was like about to be in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That was really scary. It just like came at us like kind of like a little too close for comfort.
Chainsaws, clubs, and even bloody sides of beef keep you on the edge of your seat. But the biggest blast at Bates is the explosive pyrotechnic onslaught.
It takes away the night vision from the customers and allows our actors to sneak in and get a really good scare. The pyrotechnics that we use here operate on propane gas. On a typical night, we'll go through 40 gallons, which means we go through about 1,000 gallons of propane each season.
One thing's for sure, this ain't your grandma's hayride.
It's definitely more fun scaring people than being a farmer. Watching somebody just drop to their knees really gets me going.
Coming up, we're taking pumpkins where you'd least expect. A no-holds-barred boat race.
Some are motorized, some are the paddle division, and some are just going to sink.
Plus, a haunt so terrifying, it's a total knockout.
We have people panic, run into walls, knock themselves unconscious.
How much do Americans spend on Halloween every year? A, $500 million. B, $12 billion. C, $7 billion. With an estimated $7 billion of spending, Halloween is the second largest commercial holiday in America, behind Christmas. Every October, Damariscotta, Maine hosts Pumpkin Fest, a week of squash-centric madness. Anything you can imagine doing with a pumpkin happens here. From elaborate decorating to blasting cars with a pumpkin air cannon to dropping a 1,000-pounder from a 200-foot crane. But the biggest event of the festival is the Pumpkin Regatta. The first to pilot their pumpkin boat to the finish line becomes the stuff of Halloween legend.
This gives the local people a reason to sort of cut loose and have some fun, and it's fantastic. It's a great thing.
It's a tradition to come here.
I couldn't possibly think of a better way to end boating season and celebrate Halloween than getting in a gourd with a motor and cruising around Damariscotta Harbor.
Pumpkin Boat Regatta is by far the most popular event of Pumpkin Fest. We estimated that we've had over 6,000 people the last few years.
Well, about 8 years ago, my buddy Bill and I decided to see if pumpkin boating was really something that would work.
And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll grow it, I'll build it, but I'm not getting in it.
First year we had one boat, and now 8 years later, we've got 15 or 20 boats in the water. So some are motorized, some are the paddle division, and some are just going to sink.
The pumpkin of choice is the Atlantic Giant, which takes about 3 months to grow big enough for a passenger. Hollowed out and decorated, these wacky watercraft weigh anywhere from 400 pounds to a whopping 1,800. And on Regatta Day, it's time to see whose squash is most seaworthy.
You never know how these things are going to float.
Even though I taught canoeing and kayaking at a camp, you don't know till you get in it if it's going to go, how it's going to go, will it go.
You can't lean back because then you'll take on water in the back of the pumpkin. And if you start filling water on your rear, you know you're in trouble.
A packed crowd is gathered for the spectacle. First up, the paddle division will put their pumpkins to the test, racing around the buoy and back.
I think it's cool when they crash into each other because to see if they'll flip over or not.
The competition starts to sink. And the white whale takes the lead and brings home the win. Up next, it's the big guns, the powerboat pumpkins. With wood decks and built-out bows, they're just like a boat, except for the pumpkin hull.
We actually bolt decks to them as an attachment point, and then we fabricate transoms so that it'll take the motor and seal them up with spray foam. The most popular strategy that people use in the motorized division is to build their boat so that they can put the largest motor they can possibly put on it without sinking.
Yeah, 15 horsepower that I have on my boat is the biggest one in competition today.
The more maneuverable pumpkin jumps to the head of the pack. But the biggest engine makes wake and finishes strong, earning a spot in Halloween water sport history.
The 2011 Pumpkin Fest Regatta Motorboat Unlimited Division, first place.
Where else can you go see clowns like us in a pumpkin with a motor on it, racing around a harbor?
Coming up, it's our top haunt. Get ready to run, scream, and beg for mercy. Because this is a relentless scare blitz.
Get me out of here! Stop!
Trick-or-treating dates back to A, the 1700s, B, the 1950s, C, the Middle Ages. Trick-or-treating comes from the medieval practice of souling, going door to door for alms in return for prayers for the dead. Crushing walls, flying corpses, giant monsters that will eat you alive. Erebus Haunted House in Pontiac, Michigan is an all-out assault on your senses. While most haunts keep their scares at a safe distance, Erebus pushes the boundaries of fear by grabbing its guests.
What makes Erebus different is I got things that will grab you, bite you, land on top of you. We have people panic, run into walls, thinking that's an opening and knock themselves unconscious. We have people lose their bodily functions. We've had guys come out of there with tears running down their face. This is good.
You're getting touched and grabbed by things. Anything else I've ever been to, they'll get real close to you, but they won't touch you. It's really terrifying the way they do things here.
Set in a massive 4-story factory building, Erebus is one of the biggest haunted attractions on Earth, clocking in with a 45-minute tour de force of terror.
Oh my God, I just walked through like hell on earth.
It was the scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life. No time to catch your breath, no time to stop your heart from racing. They were just constantly at you the whole time.
The whole show, just 5 stars all the way.
My last name is Terebus. You take the T off and you get Erebus. In Greek mythology, it's the son of chaos and brother of night. We've been in the haunted industry for 32 years. Now, we're in 113,000 square feet. It's over a half mile to walk through. It's $23 to get in. Tens of thousands of people came through last year. Approximately 50% of the building is made for storage or set up for storage and shop space. We have a woodworking shop, a metal shop. We can build everything right here ourselves. Anything is possible here.
More than 80 in-your-face actors up the fear ante. But it's the dozens of one-of-a-kind moving sets that take the screams over the top.
Okay, my throat hurts from yelling.
What you're not going to find at another haunted house is an obstacle course. We have crushing walls here. As you're walking, the walls are... The swamp is something that took us 4 months to figure out. The feel of dredging through something, the feel of mud on your feet. We got it here. We got foam on the floor.
Oh, it's mushy. It's mushy. I feel like I'm waiting.
And inside each insane set, a relentless barrage of interactive scares keeps you on your toes every second.
was stuff all over the place grabbing you and falling on you. I don't even know what just happened.
This is the infamous Uncle Freddy. Most haunts have a guy in a casket just like this, but this guy comes flying out of the casket right on top of the people, no strings attached.
The thing came up, it landed right in my face.
Pay your respects to my dear old Uncle Freddy. He was so Freddy!
And Uncle Freddy is just the beginning. You've got to duck past the gaping jaws of a T-Rex and dodge this creepy mutant monkey.
This is to come out, grab hold of your leg, pin you against the wall, and pull you back into his hole a little bit. No other haunted house has something like this.
Survive the disorienting blitz, and Erebus pulls out all the stops for the spine-chilling grand finale.
I'm gonna put you in a room, slam the door, fill it up 6'6", and bury you alive. How long can you hold your breath?
We're gonna bury you.
A trap door releases 10,000 plastic balls, flooding the room in seconds. It's a smothering sensation sure to make your blood run cold.
I didn't expect it. I didn't know what was going on. I walked into a room. All of a sudden, there was something falling on my head.
Get me out of here! Stop! Okay.
It feels like the walls are coming in. You just feel like you're being suffocated, like squeezed from all angles.
I have people that don't even get past the ticket booth. They don't even rip the top of their ticket off, and they're running out and chickening out.
This is like the god of all haunted houses.
The best haunts push the limits of fear to mind-blowing extremes. Whether amping up the scares in a real-life paranormal hotspot, bombarding you with moving obstacles, or blasting you with pyrotechnics, Halloween adrenaline junkies have an arsenal of thrills at their disposal to make the season a wicked smash.